Hi and welcome to week 4 of my 50K training series. If you're new here, you should go check out week 1, 2, and 3 so you're up to date and up to speed on what is going on. So, week 4. Overall, it went pretty dang well. If you ask me, the only thing I'm not so happy about is today's long run, but we'll get to that. So, let's dive in to what I did this week. Monday, if you don't know, we got a lot of snow here. And so that meant work was closed Monday, and we had a lot of shoveling to do. So that being said, that was my workout. Shoveling the driveway, clearing off the car, shoveling the walkway, all was my workout. Then moving on to Tuesday, I had my leg day per usual, and then I had my 4-mile easy run later in the day, and I followed that easy run up with a 1-mile walk at 6% incline, just to incorporate some hill work. Just because right now 100% of my rounds are on the treadmill because it's not really the safest to run outside. The road is more narrow because there's so much snow, and so there's not really like that space behind the white line for me to safely run. And there aren't really a lot of sidewalks right around here. I could drive and go run on sidewalks if I needed to, but they're also not in the best shape. They're sort of shoveled out, sort of not in places, and it's just easier and safer to be on the treadmill. So that being said, that's what all these runs are this week. Wednesday, I had my 8-mile zone 2 bike ride at the gym. So that's good. A great little cross training session, getting in miles, but lowering the impact on my legs, which is something I love to incorporate. Then Thursday was an upper body lift, and later in the day I did a 6-mile easy run, again on the treadmill, incorporating incline as I can. Friday was another zone 2 cardio session. I had 30 minutes, so I did 3 10-minute chunks on the Stairmaster. The first 9 minutes of each chunk was like a slower level 7 on the treadmill, and then that last minute of the chunk I did level 10, a little faster, and did that 3 times. So I did that 3 times, and that, kept it from being too boring, kept it interesting, made time feel like it was going by faster, all of the things. So, but yeah. So Saturday was a rest day. Sometimes I run 2 miles. Typically I do. It's not written on my training plan as that, but that's kind of what I usually do. And yesterday we were just so busy with doing house stuff and getting things done that it just never happened, which is fine. So rest day. And then today, the long run. It was my first double-digit long run since my marathon in October. So I was actually pretty pumped for it. I was super excited. I was like, yes, finally double digits. I'm like so excited. And I set it up great. Or so I thought. I set it up. We ate pasta for dinner last night. So, it should have gone well. I think I messed up with my breakfast choice. And that is why it kind of sucked. I had my normal coffee, which is coffee, collagen, and some coffee creamer. Little yummy coffee that I have every day. And then I ate an apple and peanut butter before I left for the gym for the treadmill, because the muffins that were left over from last week when I made them had mold on them, and we don't want to eat that. So I was trying to find something quick and easy, and that was the only thing that I could come up with. I didn't think it'd be an issue, but looking back now, experiencing the run, maybe that was my issue. Because my 10-mile run, I set up as a 2-mile warm-up, and then I was going to increase the incline every mile until I got to 4%, and then go back down, and then I'd be done at 10 miles. Great plan. Love the plan. Plan did not happen. What happened was, after my 2-mile warm-up, I was taking my first gel, because the goal was to take 3 gels instead of just 1 or 2, because I'm trying to increase the carb intake per long run. And I'm taking UCAN energy gel, so that's like 19 to 20 grams of carbs per gel, and so that's why I was going to take 3 instead of 1 to 2. So the goal was to take 1 at 2 miles, and that's what I did, and it didn't sit right. It just made my stomach feel weird, and I wasn't really happy with it, but I was like, keep going, the feeling should go away. That was my thinking. Well, by mile 5, I really was concerned, I thought I was going to throw up. And that's not ever great in general. And then especially when you're in public at a gym on a treadmill. So that being said, I was like, okay, cool, executive decision. We go back down to flat and we walk for a quarter mile. And that's where I was like convincing myself, like, you either stop your long run and fail it, all because of, you know, your stomach revolting, or you continue and see what you can get done. So I decided to continue. So I bumped it back up, ran mile 6, and then I again stopped it, walked for probably a little less than a quarter mile, and had to do that until I got to mile 10. Just run a mile, walk for a little bit, run a mile, walk for a little bit, just to keep my stomach from totally evacuating its contents all over the treadmill. So it was not ideal. I was not happy about how I had to walk. I was just not happy at all, and I was obviously very nauseous. So ideally, we don't repeat that. And I think it really is just I didn't have enough solid food in my stomach for the gel to then go into, and that's what caused it. That's my assumption. I had my water bottle, and I had liquid IV in it, like I always do. So it was just like, that was the only weird factor, was the apple and peanut butter snack before going. And that is what I'm going to never do again, I guess. But lessons learned, and I didn't throw up all over the treadmill, so that's also a win. But yeah, looking forward to week 5. Again, I'm just sticking with the plan, getting in my miles, getting in some zone 2 cardio that's more like on the bike, so it's less impact. But yeah, so that's all I really have for this week. If you want to stay up to date on how this training goes for me, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next week.